go. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. Let's go, mindset. Let's go. Where y'all at? Wake up, everybody. Y'all here? I can't hear y'all. Hey. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Let's go, mindset.
All right. Love it. Absolutely love it. What's going on? What's going on? Go ahead and put the trophy emoji in the chat. Go ahead and put the trophy emoji in the chat. Let's see who we have in the building today. Let's see who we have. Phyllis, what's going on? You are the MVP of your life, the most valuable participant. Go ahead and put the trophy emoji in the chat. Thank you, Sunshine. We appreciate you. Put the trophy emoji in the chat for yourself. Miss Erica, what's going on? I know you're driving right now, but we're going to have somebody else put the trophy emoji in the chat for you. What's going on, Jennifer B? What's happening? Put the trophy emoji in the chat. What's going on, Danica? Put the trophy emoji in the chat. Unique, put the trophy emoji in the chat. Look, you might not be where you want to be, but you're right where you need to be because you're not where you used to be. If your next level is loading, go ahead and put the trophy emoji in the chat. We're not able to call everyone's name out, but most importantly, you call your name out. You know, you celebrate you. You are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop, no doubt about it. Now, the only person that can deny that is you. The only person that's in your way is you. And the person that's going to be instrumental in taking you to that next level is you. Somebody tap themselves on the chest and say, it's me. And when you say it's me, I want you to think about maxing everything. You are in the position to max your opportunities. I know none of us truly want to be immersed into this capitalist society, having to get up and grind every day. But unfortunately, we're here. And we might not want to have the tough conversation. We love the people that came before us. We're very grateful, the ancestors, the parents, grandma, granddad, everyone who put in so much effort and so much work for us to be where we're at right now. But if I can be super transparent, somebody put be real in the chat. Just let me know. Because I don't want to disclose things and I don't want to say anything that ruffles feathers because I know we're in a vulnerable space and I open up a space for your mind to get thinking. And sometimes we get a little afraid. And unfortunately, we're going to have to grow up a little bit and realize that we're faced with certain circumstances that it may not be fear. It may not be fair. But what you need to do is have faith and then bet on you. Okay? So our parents before us dropped the ball. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest here. They dropped the ball and they left us picking up the pieces. Now, you could put Yana in the chat. You could not put Yana in the chat. But I just want you to realize that when I'm saying this, I'm not being rude. I'm not being mean. I'm just telling you what happened to us. So that way you don't make yourself the victim and now you become the victor, right? You are victorious. But the only way you're going to truly see victory or see a championship is if you're challenged with something. Now, this is not discrediting our mom, dad, and the people who came before us. I'm just telling you that the reality of it is we didn't choose that life. We didn't choose to be born in a place where we're the underdogs. We didn't choose to be the people who are behind our learning curves or behind our potential. We didn't choose that. But you know what you have the ability to do? You have the ability to change that. Somebody put in the chat, I will change that. See, time in, time out, we have all of these children who grow up. They say, what do you want to be when you grow up, son? And they say, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever they want to be. And they have all of these people who they praise. And, I don't know how it is now per se with the posters because it's a little bit different. They now have social media. You can post on that wall. But back in the day, they used to be putting posters on the wall of the bedrooms and things of that nature. But I want you to think, did you ever go to a friend's room? Or maybe in your room? Were those posters pictures of mom, dad, great uncle, great aunt? Or were they pictures of celebrities? Pictures of people you have no real idea about, but people that have been pushed upon you through propaganda? See, when it's all said and done, our children need to have our faces on the wall. See, when I go into the wealthy families' homes, they have great grandfather on the wall. They got great-great-great-grandmother on the wall. Why? Because those are the people who paved the way to allow them to have the success that they have today. We need to be those people if we're really looking for generational wealth. I'm not telling you what you have to do, and I'm not telling you what you should do. I'm just only here to spark the ideas of what you would like to do. If you're willing to change that. If you're willing to step up and be the person in your family that's going against the grain, that's going against the naysayers, that's taking on the challenges to become the champion, I want you to claim that in the chat. I'm claiming that. Because these are the tough conversations that we don't actually have that we need to have. How would you feel if your child had your picture on the wall? You just walked in the room, picture on the wall. Oh, what you doing? They printed that out, they framed it. And they say, Mom or Dad, I got this up here because of you. You inspire me. Everything that you do, I want to do. See, because too often what I see inside of a lot of families is that the parents are so busy telling their kids what to do that they forget to do it themselves. You could be great, son. You could be great, daughter. You could be the best of the best. Go out there and be amazing. Don't be afraid. The world is yours. Create it. But then they look at the parents, and the parents is not doing what they say they're doing. So they're not practicing what they preach. Yes or no in the chat? Do you think that stunts the child's growth? Being able to see the parent not actually internalize their own words. Do you think that stunts the child's growth in the chat? Let us know in the chat. Because maybe some of us have been those children. Maybe some of us has had those identities placed on us. Maybe some of us have had these type of, or I would say big audacious goals placed on us with no direction, with no clarity, with no way to see it come to fruition. If you're ready to stop that trend, if you're ready to break that cycle and release the chains, then go ahead and put I'm claiming that in the chat. So one of the toughest things to do in this world is have a conversation. One of the toughest things to do. I did a poll, and sometimes I will update this poll as the years go by just to see where we're at. And unfortunately, it's gotten a little bit better, but it's still in a way where it doesn't make sense. So the poll is a simple question. Which scares you the most? Death or public speaking in front of thousands? Uh-oh. Yeah, some of you getting a little, your heart racing right now, right? Your heart racing right now. Yeah. A simple question. Which one scares you the most? So a lot of times I want you to think that in this present moment, things may look scary. They may look painful, but that's all an illusion. Because the pain is just the pathway for your prosperity in a lot of cases. It doesn't mean you have to go through pain. Doesn't mean you have to be a person that's always in pain. But I'm just saying that when you look at the receipts, if you go to the gym day 1, it's a little painful. Day 2, it's a little painful. Day 3, you might not want to go back to the gym. How many of us had that feeling? Dang, I don't know. I was hyped to get on the journey, but I'm sore now. I can't get back in it. I feel like I don't, like, what's happening? And when you realize this, all of that is part of the journey. The same thing where you know where you're doing these workouts that at the end of this pain, there's a gain for you. At the end of the day, you will have a powerful body. There's a reward for you. And sometimes inside of life, we forget that that still applies. We go, oh man, I'm in this tough situation. God, why did you put me here? Now you lose faith in God. We're not asking you to lose faith in God. We're saying have more faith in you. We're saying that sometimes you're going to have to go through pressure. But see, pressure is only what you internalize. But most people can't even have a conversation if it feels like a little conflict. So let me ask the question. Did anyone do the homework assignment to get complete with a family member, a friend, or any person that they had a falling out with? Did you do the assignment? If you heard the assignment, you was like, I'm not doing that. Put a 1 in the chat. If you heard the assignment and you was like, I did that already. Put a 2 in the chat. If you heard the assignment and you said, well, I don't know. I don't have anybody to call and get complete. Put a 3 in the chat. if you did the assignment, any one of those, whatever, if you heard the assignment and you did it, or if you heard the assignment and you didn't do it, raise your virtual hand, come up and share. Raise your virtual hand, come up and share. And look, I'm demonstrating to you what we said before. This is not even a room full of thousands of people, and some of us still won't raise our hand.
Hey, Jennifer Love. Talk to us, beautiful. You should be able to unmute.
Okay. This was really good for me because I've obviously done classes where I've had you guys from mindset before. So just to put it in perspective, last summer I did the apology for a friendship that I felt just had a disconnect that was kind of like an underlying thing that nobody really spoke about. And I could feel the relief that I had. It was a much needed conversation. This year, well, yesterday, I did reach out to somebody um, in a from a past relationship. And when I told him that I was sorry, he was almost like, "What Jennifer is this?" Because he wasn't expecting it, and I didn't need a response really back from him. But it was definitely a sign of relief on a day that I had a lot going on yesterday, with career wise, business wise, and family wise. But it was the relief I needed. It definitely was for me because there were certain things, just break a communication where we needed to clear that up.
I love that. First of all, I want to say thank you for sharing that and being explicit. How explicit can I be with you now?
Very.
Okay, thank you. Did you feel like he did you wrong? Was he in the wrong to you?
In that moment, if you would have asked me, yes.
Well, wait, hold on. I don't want you to explain deeply because you don't want you to rationalize too much. I want you to just kind of answer from where the relationship was and why it kind of fell apart there. Was it because he did something to you? Was it because he did something wrong to you? Was he wrong in your eyes?
Yes.
Okay. When you are listening to the conversation, because you were actively listening, right? It was revealed to you that you also played a role in it. Which role did you play?
My reaction. Then I can see in the hindsight. Yeah.
Right. So you see how in the moment of that time, if we can go all the way back to the moment, you can be in that body in that moment and see it. You weren't really seeing and considering how you were affecting him. It was more so how he was affecting you. Right?
Yeah.
So, and you reacted a certain way based upon a stimuli that he produced in your environment. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now that we understand that we are all reactionary, let's kind of take a deeper, more magnified look into this and really look into it and say, if I was triggered by his actions and I reacted a certain way, maybe he was triggered by my actions and he acted a certain way. And then we just kept ping ponging back and forth on reactions.
Yeah, definitely. Emotions, not logic.
Right. Now, tell me, how does that make you feel being able to look at that way?
It lightens my load because I'm very self-reflective. So, when it came to this situation, I was like, I felt like it just needed to be discussed. And I sent the text message first, and he instantly called, like, we need to have a conversation. So it definitely made me feel better because it was like something we probably would have just held on to for a long time and left it alone. But it definitely was something that could have been worked out.
Love it. And here's the final part I want to add to this. So when you're in this moment and you're having this feeling that he's attacking you verbally, mentally, and whatever it could be, right? Spiritually. In your mind, after you had this argument with them, how often is the argument replaying in your mind? Not now, but during that time after you had the argument, how often is the argument replaying and recurring in your mind?
Yeah, but it probably during that time back then, yeah, I probably just replayed it, and you're always thinking like, where was the disconnect? Why did it get to this point when it was something that really could have been worked out?
Okay, so I want you to think about your level of leadership because the task wasn't to text them. but somewhere in your body, you felt like it was a little bit more comfortable for you to text them, which is still good that you could text a person, but the purpose is to get on the phone with them. So I'm glad that he
Yeah.
had the sense, the emotional intelligence to call or say, let's get on a call or whatever, how it worked out. But I want to know from you, why didn't you just make the call right away?
Oh, because he was at work.
Okay.
That's why. I didn't want to disturb his work. It was on my mind, and I was like, I need to send it. And then I knew eventually it would conversation we had. That was the goal.
Okay, good. As long as we're not, stopping our growth because we have some sort of fear about what they might say. Because remember, fear is what? Just having a bad imagination. We want to imagine all the possibilities of what could be. And whether we believe it or not, this form of communication or just this in general, being a person, and this is not towards you, this is just speaking about it. If you are a person who shies away from conflict, unfortunately, you're not going to truly be cut out to be a CEO or top business person, because you're going to have to make tough decisions. You're going to have to be able to have conflict and work it through without being upset, without raising your voice, without getting mad and thinking the other person is wrong, but becoming a problem solver. Everyone put problem solver in the chat. If you are running a business or if you run a business, you must be a problem solver. So you must embrace the problem. You must look at problems as opportunities, not just for profit, but for also to release pain. So I love the fact that you were able to release some things on that. Now, did you know that you needed to release that? Or was it something that you just think, I didn't even know I needed that. I needed that.
Um, yes, I did know.
Okay. Good, good. So don't let things like that go on too long if you know you need to release it, because inside of your mind, you're taking up space that you could be using to be creative. You're taking up space that you could be using to discover new things, new opportunities. You always want to make sure that you get clear. You don't want to have any lingering things from the past. I know sometimes you deal with certain people, you just nothing you can do about them, all right? But in most cases, that you can do things about it. So thank you for that. Any last thing you want to add? Anything you want to say?
No, I just think that more times than not, a lot of us can benefit from those type of conversations because we never, and when we're in our emotions, like you said, we only see like what that person perhaps did to us, but you have to be able to look at it from their perspective of how your reactions, how your actions also impacted them, especially in any type of relationship, from business to personal. I think is very important. So always look at it from different perspectives outside of your own.
Powerful. Everyone put some love in the chat for Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sunshine, do we have anyone else? I did see another hand, but I don't know who it was.
Yeah, it was another hand. I'm not sure. Was it Phyllis? Phyllis, did you have your hand up, love? Hold on. Let's get her up here. Where'd she go? Hold on. No. What is going on? Hold on, everybody. Why does she keep moving? Okay, here we go. I'm like, why does she keep moving? Hey, beautiful. You can unmute.
Good morning again, Grand Rising again. Okay, so for me, I chose number 3. I ain't had nobody to call. And the reason why is because I have already taken care of those kinds of things, so that, and I've moved to a point, I believe, in my life that I don't have situations like that, that I conquer it early. And so if it comes up, I handle it, and if the person is out of my life now, it's for a reason. And I didn't want to bring contact with anybody else that I've already discarded. They're meant to be gone. So that was me.
Sunshine, you want to come up and add some value to that?
Oh, Miss Phyllis, you are absolutely amazing. And I get it, right? I understand it. Especially the part where the people that are gone are meant to be gone. But the one thing about it is that no matter what the situation is we all play a part in whatever the situation is.
Because I'm just trying to say that when it was time for it to be over, my part was to roll. Sometimes you got to understand that it's not for you and they don't deserve you. And there's some people in this world that didn't deserve me. The one person I almost called, and I really almost called her, and I thought about it, and I said, I don't want her in my life again. And the reason why was because I'll give you a little background of what happened. She had been a work friend, and we moved into a personal friend, and I've always helped her. I had a little bit of drama in my life, a lot of drama, and I asked her for $13K one day. And I said, I'll have it back to you maybe 2-3 weeks tops. She did not loan me that $13,000. And because she didn't give me that $13,000, I figured that was the cost of our friendship, and I let it go. Now, knowing that.
Hold on.
All right.
I want to say this. If we take the time out to apologize to somebody or even receive an apology, it does not mean that we have to accept them back in our life. It does not mean we now have to bond and reconnect. It's literally just freeing yourself and disconnecting from the situation altogether. You're letting them off the hook, you're letting yourself off the hook, and you're moving on with peace. Now, she could have been offended by you asking for $13K as a work friend. That's a lot of money. Okay, somebody in my family.
That's not the way we roll, though. It's not a lot. I mean,
however, you don't know how she felt. You're only speaking from your perspective.
Right.
We don't know what she was thinking, right? She could be a millionaire, right? It's still her $13K. We don't know how she processed or how she received that. And so you took it as that was the cost of your friendship, but it really didn't have to be. It could have just been a conversation as to maybe what she felt like and what you felt like. But I guess maybe somewhere you was offended by it. And even if you had called her just to say, I apologize, that's it. There's no more to it. Like, there's literally no more to it. I don't want you to feel like you were wrong. You don't even have to feel like you were wrong.
Well, I apologize, though. That's what I didn't get from the thing. Why would I apologize about it? I'm in the wrong? Why should I take that to me?
An apology doesn't mean that you are taking on this thing like you wronged somebody. It's about freeing yourself from the situation.
Okay.
It's about just the release of it.
I'm just giving my answer.
I believe.
Good.
No, I truly.
And there you go. I'm just messing with you, but yes.
No, I truly believe you, because I have people that I have dismissed out of my life, and I'm so great. I'm great with it, right? However, I still understand, and I tell people this all the time. Even after exiting a 20-year marriage where I don't just feel like I was wronged, I know that I was, right? But it didn't stop me from taking the time out to apologize to them. And when I did it, they were shocked. Like,
because they knew they were wrong. So why would you apologize?
Well, let me add some value here real quick, Sunshine, because Phyllis, how explicit can I be with you at the moment?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
How explicit can I be with you at the moment?
I mean, you can talk, as long as you know you're gonna get an answer. You good?
So the key aspect of me asking you is for you to give me explicit permission, because if you don't, then you can feel some type of way. But if you do, you can't feel the type of way, and that's just neuroscience. So how explicit can I be with you?
I'm saying that you can be explicit as long as you can accept their response.
So I can be fully explicit with you? Is that a yes?
And yes is a yes.
Okay, good. There we go. So thank you for being vulnerable. Now, I would love to institute why we're doing this. So when you're in this life, do you believe that you're self-made, or are you made based upon your connections with people in your world?
I got a third option.
What's the third option?
God makes me.
So God makes you, right? And while God makes you, did God teach you how to speak, or did someone else teach you how to speak?
I would say God did.
Okay.
I did what my thought is. Yes.
Okay. So essentially, what I'm saying to you is that God didn't dress you today, right? You dressed yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the help of God, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So, but did you make those clothes?
No.
Okay. But somebody else did, though, with the help of God, right?
That's right.
Okay. So as we can see here, it's common denominator that it's going to be a mix of people and a mix of God and then a mix of you that helps create you. Because you didn't create the glasses, right? But somebody else did with the help of God, right?
Correct.
Okay, so now that we have a baseline understanding that regardless of where you're at in your life, who you are based upon the connections that you have. Now let's give a quick example of two sides. So you ask for 13K, they don't give it to you. Now you internalize that some way. Now this is a hypothetical. Now what happens is, you know what? I'm going to make a statement to myself. I'm no longer asking friends for money now. Now you become a person that, based upon your relationships with other people, now you no longer ask for money now. So let me just ask a question after this. Let me get to the other part. Let's say they do give you the 13,000, and then guess what? Now my friend gave it to me, so now I can go ask another friend if I need anything, because one friend helped me out. Is everybody seeing those two worlds really fast before I move to the question? Is everyone seeing that? That one decision and one answer can turn you into a person that operates a certain way. So I'm asking you now explicitly, when you didn't get the 13K, what happened to you? What did you say to yourself? Did you just, I'm not worried about that. All right, cool, and move on? Or did you now do something as a result of that person saying no?
I dismissed her and kept moving. I have other people that I could depend on. So it was, and to be sad, but it actually was a test because I knew that she had it because she had shared that she had it. And I only asked her because I needed her to actually get some closure for some stuff I had done for her. I asked her for the money so that she would feel like she was finally doing something for me so she could have some bragging rights of sorts, so she could feel better about her situation. But she didn't take the bait. She didn't give me the 13K. And that way I know that it's no more that I need to do for her. She's complete. So I have this spirit of trying to help people. God tells me who I can help and don't help. And at that time, it was my chance to give her the opportunity to pay back and to do some things for me for a change. And that's why I knew that she wasn't a valued friend. Because if I couldn't use her, if at my pseudo time of need, I didn't need her around. So I can dismiss her and move to the friends to find out from somebody else if they were that kind of friend. They had my back when I needed it, and they were. So that person is still my friend. But that person, and that's just the way you have to, in my opinion, God tells you about discernment, and you're supposed to figure out who your true friends are. And once you figure out who it is, that person needs to be removed from you, and no doors need to be opened back to them. So that's my thought.
I love it. So what I'm experiencing with you is resistance, right? And the level of resistance is there for a reason. And a lot of times resistance develops through time, through people, maybe giving you a certain attitude, or you internalizing what they say as answers as a rejection. So in this particular case, right, you are free from that instance of that individual, but what I can still feel is the resistance of the situation. Now, you may think I'm making this up, but I think that anyone who is watching this can feel that. So let me just let you see it on the surface, and let me see for myself. Does anybody feel the resistance that's still there pertaining to this situation? Yes or no in the chat. And this is not to ostracize you. This is something that I tried to do it a different way. You wasn't accepted of that, so I'm doing it another way, so that way it can be shown to you that in real time it's a resistance there. And the reason why there's a resistance there is because you cannot help this factor. Every person that comes into your life, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, whether you had a great relationship or fallen out, they contribute to who you are. So if you do not get complete with the people who you have fallen out with, what ends up happening is you become resistant to people in certain situations that allows you to block blessings. And that is what we're looking to do with this conversation, is to help you unlock certain blessings that was there for you the whole time. But since you already put this mask on, or you already put this ideology on, or in plain terms, you gave yourself a command. Oh, I'm never going to do this again. Oh, I'm never going to be with that person. And then now you have to operate and live by that. And what you can't see is the blessings that's all in that area, in this zone. So when you walk with completion, none of those things exist because you're not being turned away by a force of nature. And the force of nature would be the resistance. So whether you disagree or agree with it, that's just what happens to us. So what I was doing was I was showing you in real time how unaware we could be of this. This is why we should do the call, because we're unaware of it. So that's why I asked Jennifer also, was this something you knew you needed, or was it something you found out you needed? So I would love for you to respond to it. But before you do, I would love for you to think that how this still affects you. Now, it may not be in your life per se because you're still successful, you still have friends, but this is a conversation that you brought up. We didn't know anything about that friend. We didn't know anything. You, in your mind, knew that there was a friend that you had a falling out with, that this was a big issue, and you brought it up. So meaning that it's still in your life, but when it's suppressed, you don't have room to make space for new things. And you can't, this is the biggest part about all of what I'm saying. You will never know what you need to make space for. That's why you have the conversation, because the space comes from God, right? God would give you the space that you would make, but only if you made the call. So I would love to hear your response to that or anything you wanted to add. But once again, this is all with love. This is not to call you out. We're looking to uplift each other.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Okay, so I'll say this interesting and be okay with that. Because I'm curious about the term somebody being able to see my resistance. I don't know what that term exactly means for everyone. Someone can see. If someone can see that I am committed and confident in my choice, is that just someone seeing my resistance?
No, committed and confident in your choice is you're not attached to a certain way of it being. Like in this case, you're attached to the idea of that's not my friend anymore. She didn't give me the 13K, and that's it. When Sunshine came up, she offered to give you a different way of looking at it. Yeah, she didn't give you 13K, but she could still be your friend. And you, and
No. I'm sorry. We don't talk every day, but I think she's still my friend. I mean, if she needs something, she'll drop by, or if we see her, we'll wave. I mean, she ain't dead to me or anything like that. I just know that in my day to day, she wasn't a person I could. That's the only person I could possibly think of. I don't have anybody that I could call and say I'm sorry to, because I don't. People don't. I don't have falling outs really. We just get to the point we talk about it, and then I let them just fall to the wayside. They decide they could. I did the doors open. They can come knock. They could call, but they know they've done enough that I ain't gonna call. I leave that girl alone. I mean, it's good. So she's kind of the same way probably at this point because she never got back with me, but I didn't. But she's the only person I never really. She's my girl. You know, she's my girl. So I want to check on her. She might be dead for all I know, for real, for real. But I mean, that may be what it. Cause I don't know. But I know that she could drop by if she needed to. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't want to make it seem like I've got a strong door. No, she better not come my way. I don't have nobody in the world I feel like that towards. That was just.
I had a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've ever really wronged anyone?
No.
What Sunshine? I don't want you to go that deep because that's due to the time constraints. We don't have that time to go that deep, but that is a consideration, Phyllis, to think about because I do understand where you're coming from. You're not really mad about things. It's just more like it is what it is. Like, are you gonna help me or you're not gonna help me? You know, because I'll help you, and it's no big deal. I'll help you, you help me, and that's how our relationship is. But if it's not that equal relationship of I help you, you help me, then that's not really what I want because I want mutual beneficial relationship. And also, where you're coming from is more you're not gonna sugarcoat things. I get it. I totally understand that. I just want you to be aware of neuroscience behind actions, right? Because it's these things are not explained to us, but it gives us the reasons why that allows us to live stress free, allows us to be able to go out there and live without fear and go ahead and step more into our faith to bet on ourselves to really build the life we want to live. And it sounds like you are already doing that, but just be cautious that you know that other people, they don't think like you. they maybe weren't raised like you, and they probably don't have the same exact principles. So this is why having these tough conversations could allow you to be on a page that you never even knew existed. But I don't want you to feel like you're being up here on the hot seat being attacked. So I just want to kind of let that off.
Okay. Okay.
Any last thing you wanted to add before we
Nope.
let you go?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Okay. Everyone send some love to Phyllis in the chat. And remember, when we're doing this and I ask you to chime in, I'm not asking you to critique Phyllis because I'm doing it from a professional standpoint. I'm not doing it, I'm not some Joe Small off the block where I'm just talking to her. I'm really letting her get seeds, and she's getting the seeds. You have to learn personality types. You just can't say certain things to everyone. This is why I ask, can I be explicit with you? And this is the trigger. Anytime you hear someone who's shuffling with that, if I go up there and I ask you, hey, how explicit can I be with you? And you start shuffling with that, you don't want me to be as explicit as you know I need to be. So I have to pull that out of you to get the exact answer, yes or no. Because once you give me the yes or no, I'm now freed in your mind to give you the answer. And I want you all to take that note. I want you to take that down. Because whether you believe Phyllis was resistant to what I was saying or what the conversation was, she totally understood what I said. Totally. It's not even it's no second guessing here. She knows exactly what I said. That's why I stopped Sunshine from going deeper, because we don't have time to unravel a lot that would have actually unraveled in that moment. But I don't want you all to play me and do what I'm doing. I just want you to take the principles away and also the asking for permission to speak to people. So if you thought that exercise was great and you saw something about yourself, I want you to let us know in the chat. Because Phyllis, believe it or not, you helped a lot of people out just now. Believe it or not. Sunshine, thank you for that. Next person.
Is this Casey? I can't even tell. Oh, I can't bring you up without your camera on. Is that a Casey? Are you able to turn your camera on, love?
Oh, send a request to unmute so that way.
I did.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hey, I cannot turn it on. I'm at work. So I cannot take that risk.
Okay.
But this was wonderful. I'm glad that I'm able to attend this one today, because I went through something exactly like this prior to this class. And I made up with someone who had actually bullied me in high school. And we met at a funeral, and something just kept nudging me to make up. And you know, even though part of me was like, you don't have to make up with her, she hurt you. But then when there's hurting going on, it's a two-way street, it's not a one-way street. And lately I've been trying to mend all roads with people, including my contractor who took off with my money from one of my jobs. I met him randomly working at another job, and he did the same thing over there. But that would have kept me from also making peace with one other contractor who didn't do the job to my expectations, and is currently working at one of my job sites right now, and he is outperforming anything I expected. So sometimes if we stay in that place of hurt, and I'm not pointing at Phyllis, I'm just talking about myself. If we stay in that place of hurt, we can sometimes block opportunities, and we can block our own blessings, and we can stay in a, I had the words and now I lost them. We can stay in a place of resentment. So that's just what I wanted to contribute.
Powerful. Everyone send some love in the chat. What was your name again? Because Sunshine was looking to get it straight in.
Acacia, like the acacia tree. Yeah.
Acacia.
Yeah.
So occasionally you will come up here and drop some gems like that, right? I got you. Everyone send some love in the chat. Go ahead, send some love in the chat for Acacia. All right, cool. So with that being said, right? Are we getting that we all are right? You're right. You're not wrong. You feel how you want to feel. But it doesn't make it right just because you feel like you're right. because there's no true thing about right and wrong. Everyone put in the chat, I want you to put there's no such thing as right and wrong. Now, in certain cases, yeah, I could give it to you. It might be a right and a wrong. But in reality, it's not about right and wrong. It's about what's workable and non-workable. A lot of times we're offended by certain things and then we will go on the offense and offend someone else. So hurt people hurt people. So if you ever felt like you were hurt by someone, I want you to think that if you're hurt by someone, chances are you probably hurt someone from the hurt. Hurt people hurt people. And a lot of times this happens in relationships. It could just be one thing you interpret the wrong way. Your significant other is busy and they may say something to you, and, oh, you got hurt. And now from there, you're acting all, hurt. And then you start doing things out of spite. That's what they call it, out of spite. But it's really just you being hurt. Is anyone understanding what I mean when I say that? Is anyone understanding that? You just might be acting out of hurt. But in your mind is vindicated because they hurt you. See, the way that you're going to know that it's really something that you're not comfortable with is if it's sitting on your mind throughout the day and it keeps replaying itself and you keep thinking about it and you don't really want to eat too much or you don't really want to be your full version. Because yes, when you are with other people, all of your potential that you will ever actualize will come from the help of other people. So you'll never be self-made. It would always be with the help of other people. It would always be with people. Your greatest potential lies with people. So get comfortable with making up with people because unfortunately everyone inside of this room right now could take anything and feel offensive to it. I remember last week on a call, I wasn't even talking to this person. She felt offended and got a nerve to come up on a call and then say, hey, you hurt me. I didn't fight with her. I didn't even know what she was talking about. I'm like, what? I didn't even speak to you. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But you know what? I'm sorry. I apologize if I hurt you because I'm unaware that I hurt you. So even in that moment, I'm still sincerely apologizing because I still played a role in that. What if I never said anything? She wouldn't have felt that way. But she felt some type of way about me. And all I was doing was just speaking about the fact that most people don't want to listen to the mentor when the mentor gives you the instructions. So when everybody who answered 3, when I said, hey, did you just not even do it because you already did it already? Yeah, but you didn't do it the way that we said to do it. And we're instructing you to do it a certain way, which I'm quite sure you didn't do because most people don't do it this way, where you're going to call up someone and get complete with them by not making them wrong, by only apologizing and saying thank you for being who you are because I've learned so much. I appreciate you. It's a different formula. And I always tell you all, mathematically, right? Life is mathematical. So it's about the combinations that you give that gives you a certain output. Make sense? Let me know in the chat it makes sense. The way that this correlates to your business is if you're going to move up the levels or not. So let me share the screen really fast. In business, you cannot expect to be a high-level business owner or just business operator or high-level individual when it comes to the corporate world, being a top executive, if you cannot handle tough conversations. If conversations like this make you run away instead of embracing them, chances are you're not going to have the finances that you truly want. This is not me making up anything. This is not me giving you my theory. This is a fact. It's just a fact. You can take a look in your own life and see if it's a fact or not. Okay? If you have the amount of money that you want and you have the life you want, go ahead and put I have it. If you're looking for it, you're looking to create it, put I'm looking for it. If you already have it, you don't have to listen to anything that I'm getting ready to say. If you are looking for it, I advise you not to listen to anything else but this call right now. I'm going to do this in 5 minutes. Sunshine, would you mind putting 5 minutes on the clock, please? Don't hit the enter yet until you let me know that you have it up there. all of what we're talking about has everything to do with money. You might say, what does this have to do with money? Well, it has everything to do with it, because all relationships are businesses, and all businesses are built on relationships. So relationships is delicate. You're going to have some things that you have to do in a relationship. Now, when you understand this 4 pillars of results, but also the 4 levels of value in business, you will then understand relationships. And this right here will make you super successful on its own. Let me see if I want to go back. Are we able to see the screen? Sunshine, you have the 5 minutes on the clock?
No, it's not giving me that option.
It's not giving an option?
Mm-mm.
Okay, let me see.
But yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, you can see the screen. All right, cool. Let me put the time up there because I only want to do this in 5 minutes, not anything more. All right, cool. So, in relationships, everyone put the keyword in the chat. Put the keyword in relationships in the chat. I didn't tell you yet, but I want you to see it and you put it down there. There's 2 keywords, actually. The whole entire word is a keyword. But put the keyword in the chat. I need to see that. Relation, and what? Ship. Relation and ship. Just like entrepreneurship, but relationship. Why would those be 2 keywords? Why would that be 2 keywords? Let me know in the chat. Why would that be 2 keywords? Well, in business, your business is built upon relationships. Your marketing, how well you can relate to people. Advertisements, relation. It's all relation. It's all relation. Now, how you drive the relation, how you steer the relation, it's always going to be like, imagine being out in the ocean and you're on a boat. You're going to have some waves pulling you up and some waves pulling you down, and it's going to be a little rocky, but that doesn't mean you get fearful and jump ship and start to swim back to shore. No, you just do your best to do what? Navigate it. Everyone put navigation in the chat. Put navigation in the chat. Okay, navigation. When you first get into your car on that ship and you're using GPS, right? Navigation. The first thing is to imagine yourself at the destination. When you're in business or you're in a relationship, you get into a confrontation, you get into an argument, you must first, okay, how do I want this to end? Do I want us to end amicably, where we're happy, where we're on the same page, not upset? How many of us actually do that? Put a 0 in the chat if you don't do that. If you get into an argument and mid-argument you stop and you go, oh shoot, how do I want this to end? Do I want this to end in a fight, or do I actually want this to end in us being together and having a cordial outing? Put a 0 in the chat if you do not do that. Put a 1 in the chat if you do it. And I'm not saying if you have done it, I'm saying if you do it, if it's a tool that you use. I'm not saying if you've done it, if you do it, if it's a tool you use. Imagination. You must have an image in your mind of how your life is going to play out, because we think in images. So what is the image of where you want to go? Next thing is the communication. You must be able to communicate the image. You must be able to communicate this image. Okay? After you're able to communicate the image, you need to integrate or be able to put people in a position to unify them to be on the same page. Once you're on the same page, you're now able to execute on the idea or implement the idea. Now, once again, one of my mentors, one of my coaches, Myron Golden, he gave me this blueprint, and I took the blueprint and I put my own information on top of this. Now, I do have that book, but I'm not going to give it out this time around. I'm just going to use some of what we have inside of here. I'm just going to use some of what we have in the book on this board right now. So your job is to renovate, innovate, collaborate. That's your job in this world. Your role is to renovate, innovate, collaborate. What's the purpose of you doing that? Well, you need to become more effective in less time. More effective, less time. Okay? Rule number one, when it comes to you in business, when it comes to your relationships, you do not take anything personal. No thing personal. You ever hear the saying, it's not personal, it's just business? Nothing personal. So you have to always be able to apologize to people. You have to always be able to say that you're wrong, even when you're right. Why? Because if you take nothing personal, what's going to happen is you're going to unlock something you could never see because you have what we call detachment. You have detachment. Detachment is going to be huge in your business. These are 4 skill sets you need to have to make any relationship work. You use them simultaneously. You can also use them together at the same time. So when it comes to you having your relationship with in business, right, you need to imagine yourself at the highest level. Can I have an additional 1 minute, Sunshine?
You sure can.
Thank you. So each of these are skill sets. You need to be able to be an executor. How many of us can execute? Put a 1 in the chat. If you could get an idea, you can execute. Like, if I give you an idea, you can execute on it, no problem. See, the key thing is that most of us have been taught like this from grade school, so yeah, you should already be here. If you don't have this skill, none of these other skills matter. If you don't have the skill of implementation, execution, none of the other ones matter. This is the next level skill most people don't care about. So when we're talking about getting complete with people, this is what is going to demonstrate how well you can unify other people into your world, because they are important. If your business is going to be successful, you need to learn this skill. That's why we gave you that challenge, because that's the hardest thing for you to do, is admit that you're wrong, even when you're not wrong. But how hard is it really? Everybody put in the chat, say I'm wrong. Everyone put in the chat, say I'm sorry. It's just a few words. But see, a few words can go a long way. A few words can go a long way. See, the thing that you need to be saying is, I'm sorry to yourself. Everyone look in the mirror right now, or look in the camera right now and say, I'm sorry. You need to be, I'm sorry to you, because look how wrong you've been treating yourself. You've been holding yourself hostage for other people's feelings. You've been making yourself small because other people have big doubts. You've been making yourself feel like you're less than. You've been communicating to yourself, oh, you're not enough. Oh, your imagination, I can't think. I'm not smart. Well, all of that changes today. All of that changes today. You are brilliant. Everyone put in the chat, I am brilliant. I am spectacular. See, the key aspect in all of this is everyone wants to be loved, heard, appreciated, felt, and seen. Now, in order for you to make your business work, in order for you to truly become that person, you must renovate your beliefs. Change your beliefs. And you change your beliefs to somebody who could communicate with this person. Okay, how can I communicate with this person? They're really upset. They're really irate. Remember, if a person is nasty to you, let them be nasty. You don't be nasty back. Let them go. Just let them go. It's fine. But what I'm expressing to you is, when you have these skills to melt off anything that someone's saying to you, negative, you're going to be able to implement easier. Because it's hard for you to implement if the negative naysaying things that people say to you is on your mind. If you believe that they won't follow your lead, they won't. If you believe that you can't communicate, they won't hear you. So you need to melt all of that off. You need to become more effective in less time by realizing, hey, I need to have the skill set of implementation, being able to unify people. So you need to practice communicating and getting people to do what they already would like to do that benefits you. So let's say with Phyllis with the 13K. I wouldn't have just asked for the 13K. I would have made sure that there was something on the other side so that way she could say yes to it. You get what I'm saying? You're with your significant other, you want to go to the park, but your significant other rather stay in the house. Give them something. You know, you have to unify them. You have to integrate them into your world. Okay, baby. So if you go out and take this walk with me, what I would love for you to do, when we come back, I'm going to make you this food. I'm going to make you this. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. It's a trade-off. And when you communicate that, you're doing it with the imagination that this will all work out. So that way your communication isn't sloppy, your communication isn't stuttered, your communication isn't broken, your communication is flawless. You ever heard of people that got the gift of gab? Because they can make you think about the greatest outcome. We need to make them think about the greatest outcome. If you make them think about the greatest outcome, they can implement at the top of their ability. How do I know that exists? Because you're doing it already. The greatest outcome is that you get paid. So if I'm paying you salary and all I say is complete these tasks, you're gonna complete them because you know at the end of the day, you're gonna get paid. So that's the highest imagination we have you. I'm gonna pay you to do that. So you always have to give a trade-off for something. It's never going to come from you just being able to benefit solely. You have to make the trade-off. Everyone put in the chat, make a trade-off. You have to renovate, innovate, and collaborate. Okay, cool. All right, make a compromise. Maybe I don't need to reinvent the wheel, but let me see how I can make what already exists better. If we have a good relationship, let's make it better. If our relationship starts to fall out, how can we make it better? Change your reality, change your environment. And then also remember, your life is going to come down to collaboration. It's never not going to come down to collaboration. So when you have these 4 skill sets, you're going to be a top contributor in any business, any career, and you're going to be promoted just because you're able to collaborate with people. But collaboration takes a trade-off. It takes imagination, communication, unification, implementation. And it also takes you not taking anything personal. So remember, while you're on this journey to navigate your life, these 4 levels will help you in any business, in any relationship, because all relationships are businesses and all businesses are relationships. They're all the same. If your legs were cut off at 5:01 p.m. and you clock out at 5, best believe when you come back to work the next day, them legs still cut off. There's no separation, okay? You don't have a work life and a business life, a personal life. That's not real. Let me stop sharing the screen. It's all one life. Universe. One sound. One life. Is this helpful for you in any way? Let me know. Team, just stop sharing my screen for me, please. Just hit this, because it's not allowing me to end it. So you can just end that for me. All right, good. So we're out of time. Thank you, Sunshine, for allowing me to go overtime on that. It is 9:35. So what I would love to do now is just put up a quick poll, answer the poll, and then we'll give out a little bit of homework, which would be to complete anything that's incomplete. So let's put up the poll and let's answer the poll. Then we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. The participation today was great. Definitely way better than the last 2 days. I appreciate everyone who came up to participate. I did a great job today. Let's get those polls, questions answered. We should be able to see the poll. See on the back of my screen, it has the poll there. It should be on your screen. If you didn't take a screenshot of that, you definitely want to watch the replay. Tomorrow, we're going to finish off with a guided meditation. I will revisit any questions that anyone has. If you have any questions or concerns, I will be able to address those. But most importantly, we will do the guided meditation and give you a blueprint to walk away from all this with. And did anyone have an application that they filled out? Did we do any applications? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. And you don't want to be late with class tonight. You want to make sure that you are on class early. So Q&A is going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 9 o'clock will be the class. If you did the application, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you didn't, put a 2 in the chat. Team, if we have the application, can we put the application in the chat just in case there's someone that didn't do it? Now, the application is simple. It's just verifying if you would be a top candidate to be able to work deeper with Janelle. Let me know in the chat, team, if you could put that in there. Let me go ahead and complete the incomplete challenge for you all on the Love Plus platform. Let me share my screen so you're not just looking at me. And Sunshine, while I am getting this, can you come up and do the final thoughts? Remember, this is the Love Plus platform for your personal and business development. What I'm going to do is go into my development. When I go into my development, is going to take me to the challenges and systems. When you go in there, this will be complete the incomplete challenge, and I will send that to you all now. Anything that you have outstanding that's incomplete, this challenge will help you and guide you to be able to get that done.
Okay, everybody. So this is day 4. I can't believe this week is flying by. Tomorrow is the absolute last day. And so on this thankful Thursday, this trusting Thursday, the next level of your life requires you to level up to the next level. We all have to become somebody different in order to get to that next level. So I hope that we're taking the time out. I love everybody that is coming up and being vulnerable and talking and sharing experiences, because we all get something from that. But I want everybody to take the time out to implement what you've learned this week from your peers and from Mindset Mogul, right? It's all about connecting with the right people. And when you get into the right rooms with the right people, it is definitely not just a game changer, but it's life changing. We have to make sure that we communicate with clarity and never stop imagining what's possible. A lot of us are not getting to our next level because we're not thinking big enough. So I need everybody to start thinking bigger. Put "I will think bigger" in the chat. And Mindset Mogul talked to us about not taking anything personal. That is so key. I don't know if you caught what he was putting down, but I will say this: that one statement will change your entire life. It will change your perspective completely, and it will change your entire life. Don't take anything personal. And sometimes the greatest gift and sometimes the greatest strength isn't proving that we're right. It's just simply choosing peace. Put "I'm choosing peace" in the chat. You can apologize when needed, but most importantly, apologize to yourself for every time you ever abandoned your own needs. I know I need to do that. Who else needs to do that? Right? Because we prioritize everybody else except for us. Apologize to yourself for any time you ignored your own truth. That's the real thing. Apologize for every time you put everyone else before you. And then forgive yourself for it so that you can move forward to have the life that you want. We've learned today that communication is everything. The conversations that you have and the ones that you avoid can determine the direction of your business and your personal relationships today and in the future. So think about when he talked about what was the statement? Become a problem solver. That's what it was. Become a problem solver. Put that in the chat. The bigger the problems that you solve, it's the greater the value that you possess. Then you create currency from that. And when your value increases, your income increases, your impact increases, and your influence is top notch. So I want everybody on this Thankful Thursday to stay thankful. Keep trusting the process on this Trusting Thursday, and understand that it's all about the breakthrough. And it's happening at this moment. It's happening as you're showing up. It's happening as you're sharing your stories. It's happening as you are making one decision at a time. I hope every single person in here filled out that application. You cannot be in a game without at least filling out the application. Fill out the application and let's see where this next journey can take you. It's been amazing sharing this Thursday with y'all. I want you to have an amazing Thursday and go solve somebody's problem today. Matter of fact, make it your own.
Absolutely. Everyone come on from mute. Can we send a request to have them come on from mute? Snap it up and clap it up. Your next level is loading. You are the best of the best. Top of the top, cream of the crop. Let's go out on top, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a good day. Remember, class, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Q&A. And then the official class starts at 9. You don't want to miss it. Be there. Once we're stuck in the dark, then I got me a light. Came up from the dark. trust. No matter what, always knew I was gonna be alright. Be alright. Life is like a movie. I'm the star of my story. The streets and the sweets, great credit, big business, investments. I've been loaded. Tell me who is real as this. Took a while to find my niche. Had to build on my business. That money I invested in. New crib, big backyard. And neighbors can't even see who we are. No, I'm not the same as I was before. No, I'm not the same as I was before. I feel like a movie. I'm the star of my story. The streets and the sweets, great credit, big business, investments. I've been loaded up, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now, now I'm now, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now. I've been loaded up, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now, now I'm now, yeah. Now I'm now, now I'm now. The link in the chat. The link is in the chat for the applications. Go ahead and make sure you check out the application. Fill that out. I'll leave the Zoom on for another 2 minutes so that way you can get those links. If you do get approved, go ahead and put the approval in the Telegram group.